And it was so cute. Here's this 70-year-old little Italian lady, and can barely speak a word of English, and she's going to night school and coming home with Dick and Jane books. Right? And we all taking our turns, going Dick and Jane, climbing the hill, Dick and Jane with the dog. Oh, and we were having great fun, and we thought she was making great progress until one day she was reading her assignment from a little worksheet, not the book, and reading it perfectly until we looked over her shoulder and realized it was upside down, which made us realize she was better at memorization than she was at reading. So that put an end to that experiment, but it didn't matter because Grandma had a way of communicating with all of her adoring grandchildren and great-grandchildren as time went on, and to tell us wonderful stories and shared with us. And she had a way of dealing with the language that was all around. You know, we talk about, you've heard of Spanglish, you know, that, mixture of Spanish and English that a lot of immigrants speak today. Well, if there was a comparable dialect for somebody who has mixed the English language with a form of Italian that was all around, and, Sicilian dialects are vastly different. Our daughter, Anna, who was an exchange student in high school in Milan, so she lived with the high-class Italians, and she came back and was speaking beautiful, fluent Italian, and we thought, oh, great, this is wonderful. You can talk to, Grandma now and aunts and uncles. And she said, Dad, I don't understand a word they're saying. Which didn't surprise me as I've come to learn. I mean, the dialects, are vastly different. But Grandma had her own way of communicating. It was sort of English, it was sort of Italian. And I made some flashcards just to kind of share with you just a few of the words that I remember very, very vividly. I just want to see if maybe you can pick up some of them. I've done them phonetically. I don't know if you can read. Any idea what that one is? As the world turns. One of her very favorite songs. She thought would never miss it. And if you got that one, this one ought to be sent, right? As you night. As you night. Okay. And then, of course, Sunday night, like most Americans, even not Italian Americans, we had this one. That was so long, right? Never missed it. And Saturday night, runs around. Okay. And then just a few of two more here, just a couple of words that were in her daily lexicon. She was a diabetic and, had to watch her health and so forth. But this was one of my favorites. And don't let your mind go in the gutter. What is that? Penally? It's pills. I need my penally. And she had all of us, my brothers and sisters, looking around for her opinion. But my very, very, very favorite is the one upcoming. And my brother and I taught ourselves photography when I was maybe 6th or 7th grade and he was 9th grade, and we had a little home dark room, and of course we had to experiment on somebody. And my grandma Carol was the greatest of sports. She would let us dress her up like a nun in a fake habit. She would let us put all kinds of makeup and poop her hair up and do like glamour shots, and she would just laugh, and she was the quintessential grandmother. But my favorite grandma-ism was this one. Any idea what that is? Lippity lip, lipstick, you got it. Lippity lip, And Paula reminded me of one of her favorites when she met my grandmother, and this was a trip. Paula, who probably had zero exposure to Italians until after the senior year of high school when we started dating, and brought her into this raucous Italian family. But she remembers one of my grandma's other favorite television shows at the time was something she referred to as Nude de Sud, and that was The Naked City.